If you didn't already homeschool your children, you're doing it now because of the coronavirus. And I know one of the biggest concerns for most people now is, what should I feed my family? And I just wanted to share with you some things that we've eaten this week that I've prepared for them. As I've mentioned, I'm the only one in my household that's strictly carnivore, but I wanted to share some options of what I do and what I feed my family, not just this past week, but really it's pretty much the same rotation, just cooked in different ways. Though they're not all carnivores, I do try my best to stick more with like a low carb menu for the family. And this is not necessarily something that we do 100%. I would say probably 85 to 90% we're there. So here is an example of a meal. I just made some chicken legs and cauliflower rice with some bell peppers in it. Now, this meal that you see here, this may be served for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. I no longer box myself in and say, oh, because it's breakfast, we have to do eggs all of the time. And it's been so freeing to just cook whatever I want during whatever time of day it is. And the kids at this point, they're more used to it. And it's not to say that I don't ever do bacon and eggs for breakfast, but I don't lock myself into a box anymore. And that has been extremely freeing and has just made planning so much easier. So I'm making a salad with lettuce, some avocado, olives, tomatoes, and then I made a vinaigrette for them. And then over here, some steak that I just seared on both sides and popped it in the oven and cooked it. And I just plan to cut this into small pieces and top it on the salad. And that will be dinner for them. So, hi. I ended up adding some sour cream to the homemade salad dressing, and this is what it looked like. Now, here is the finished product, and they all enjoyed it. And I do want to say this, that I try my best to give them nutrient-dense foods that are satiating, because I know that that helps to keep them from snacking all day, because that's kind of a big complaint by many, right? That the kids are constantly in the pantry. But I try to give them, again, just a lot of protein, a lot of fat, and that helps to minimize. I didn't say cut out, because they're still children and they love to eat. It does minimize the frequency of the snacking throughout the day. I would say on average, they may have probably one snack a day. All right, so right here, my son is making tuna salad, and he hates being on camera, and he caught me and kindly stepped away. He caught me recording him, but that's another thing. Like, I try my best to not be the only one in the kitchen. I try to pull them in to help me with the process. So anyway, for this tuna salad, it was pretty simple, just eggs, tuna, and we had some homemade mayo and put some ketchup, and they used some avocado as well. And instead of bread, they're just using lettuce to make tuna salad sandwiches. All right, here is my breakfast for the children. We have some scrambled eggs with butter and salt, some steak, and then they have some raspberry and blueberries. How do you feel about that, children?
I feel good. I feel kind of happy, but like.
They were ready to talk once the food was actually in front of them. So here is another example. I just did 2 baked chickens, did different seasonings on each of them. And you can click on the link above just to get the basic idea of how I do my baked chicken. This is always a hit, and I love this because I just served it to them with cucumbers and some guacamole, and that was a meal. Now, this was a pretty simple meal. It was just some lunch meat that I got from Trader Joe's and filled it with cream cheese. And they ate that with some blueberries and strawberries. And let me just say that Everything doesn't always have to be this elaborate meal. This was pretty simple. Just popped it in the oven for a few minutes to warm it a little bit, and that was it. So don't stress yourself about always making these elaborate meals. Keep it simple. So here is another one. They had some strawberries, the bacon egg bites, and keto pancakes. And yeah, they had keto pancakes, but they sure enough put some maple syrup on it. And like I said, we don't lock ourselves in. This could easily be served for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. So here is some hard-boiled eggs and sausages. And these sausages I bought from Costco. They're like sugar-free and pretty straightforward in terms of the ingredients. And here, my son is shelling the eggs. And like I said, please, parents, do not be the only one doing it all. Bring the kids in the kitchen so that they can help you. That definitely is a game changer. And I get that you can do it a lot faster if you do it by yourself, but be patient with them because in the end, it does really pay off. All right, so here is a final example of a meal that I have. It's just lettuce and some avocado. And then I had got some pico de gallo. I know I always butcher the pronunciation from Trader Joe's. There it is right there. Pretty straightforward. And then I have some homemade mayo. And with that, I also have some shrimp. For the dressing, I just mix some mayo with the pico de gallo, and it makes a nice, rich, creamy dressing, and they seem to really enjoy this. And I just pour the dressing over the lettuce and the avocado and mix it around. And we just top it with the shrimp, and this was enjoyed by everyone. They all devoured it. My husband and the children, they all really enjoyed this. So I just really wanted to share these meals with you to give you an idea of what I'm feeding my family. And like I said, we don't do everything perfectly over here. There are some days where they may end up eating oatmeal. I try to stay away from like buying sugary cereals and things, but there are times where I may make oatmeal for them. So this is not like, okay, yeah, perfect 10 all the time. But for the most part, I do, again, try to stay more in the low carb arena. So yeah, hope that this was helpful for you and that you got some ideas. All right, you be blessed.